your comments. It's Sunday, June something or other, and I just felt like going live, and I just brought my laptop up here with my little phone, and I thought, let's do it this way. Why not? Let me know, can you guys hear this? Is that making a noise? That means that mic's working. If not, I'm using the phone mic and it's gonna sound like crap, which is fine. Who cares, you know? Scott is here as the first commenter, and he says, yo. That's important. That is very important because it's the opposite of oi. Significance? Infinite. Erica Black is here, Nick Constantino. All right. So, it's Sunday. It's been freezing cold in California, like unseasonably cold, the June gloom, the fog and everything. So I've been using it as a chance to get outside actually, because when it's that cold, you can actually hike these trails that normally you would just be like, oh God, why? Just kill me. And instead it's like, oh, wow, this is not bad. So it's been good being outside. Yahan says, hi Doc, number one fan here. It's good to have at least one number one fan. And I suspect from comments, I have at least a couple number one fans. Cynthia's here, Rachel is here. Do you write all your songs? Usually I write the lyrics based on whatever the original parody is, but a lot of times I get some help, like I'll fish it out to, like for In the Lab, that parody, I posted on Facebook and said, okay, lab people, tell me your pain points. And people would send me all their pain points, and then I'd use that to write the lyrics. So sometimes I'll get some assistance, or I'll hear somebody say, like I'll tell my supporter group, the people who subscribe for the $5 a month, hey, I'm thinking of doing this parody about this. Any ideas welcome, and they'll send a ton of stuff, and like maybe there'll be a couple of gems that I'll pull and put into the song. So it's a bit of a collaboration. And I usually make a spreadsheet where I have the original lyrics and then my lyrics. And so I can make sure that they rhythmically match and that there's enough space and everything and that it's structured correctly. And it helps me see the big picture. I'm kind of a nerd that way. Spreadsheets, man. Spreadsheets. Can we talk about more vaccines, Robin or Robin? I don't know. I guess we could, but I don't want to. Just not interested. It's kind of funny seeing like Peter Hotez and Joe Rogan and RFK Jr. and all these people going at it on Twitter. And it's like, guys, really? This is a thing? This is how we debate now, is like on Twitter, like in this totally non-scientific, chaotic, idiotic way. I just don't have anything to do with it. You know, it's like at this point you have enough information, you know? Either you're vaccinated or not, you've had COVID or you haven't. I've never had COVID, that's documented. And I've had 2 doses and a booster, but that doesn't prevent infection. I should have been infected. So I probably had a silent infection or an asymptomatic infection or something where I just didn't test. I had a little sniffles, thought it was an allergy and didn't test. Family too, no one in my family has had documented COVID. Very, very strange. Might be genetic, who knows? I'm a lab tech, says Donna. I really enjoy your parodies and just your talks in general. Let me get that. There we go. Oh, that's nice, Donna. I just had fun talking at the Association of Public Health Laboratories. That was a great group, you know, like 800 or 1,000 like people who've been like just squeezed through the ringer during COVID. Ashley tries to avoid the drama on Twitter. The only way you do that is don't go on Twitter. I avoid it by just dumping my stuff and then leaving. I don't even look at it. And I've muted so many people that like the loudest, most obnoxious people I don't even see. And you don't block them, because blocking them gives them the satisfaction that you actually care. You actually don't care. You only care about your own sanity, so you just mute people that are crazy. And that's the majority of people on Twitter. So most of Twitter is muted for me. Lisa says the Chinese didn't want to kill you off. Nice. Not yet. But I'm sure... oh, you mean TikTok? Yeah, Ruth is Twitter free. Yeah, so what else is up? What else is going on with you guys? Hit me up with some questions or thoughts, and it can be on anything. This whole, whatever this awakening nonsense is. I say nonsense because it's nonsensical. There's nothing you can... It's beyond the conceptual mind, so you can talk and talk and talk, but all you're doing is talking in circles. It's an experiential, energetic, non-happening. So we can talk about that if you're interested. Or not. let's see what else is going on here. So we've got someone needs a teledoc. That is that sounds like a terrible job. If I'm being honest. It's basically what I'm doing now, but with very high stakes. Whereas this is zero stakes. What's the difference between a DO and an MD, Oscar? That's a good practical question. MD, medical doctor, DO, doctor of osteopathy, I think. Just different tracks to medical education. Classically, the osteopathic schools are more, they do often teach this sort of osteopathic manipulation, which is a particular technique. And I think Dr. Mike and I did a live show at some point talking about the distinctions. But really in the end, it's like they're all physicians. They all prescribe meds. They all can do procedures. They all can be different specialties. So it's really just a question of, where did you train and what, kind of overall feel did the model have. In general, the MD schools are a little more difficult to get into because they set the bar in certain ways with testing and things like that, but not always. And the osteopathic schools can sometimes be a little more holistic, but it really depends on the school and it depends on the student. So there's really no good way to generalize. Mary Beth Vandervoort says, I'm feeling helpless and hopeless. Okay, let's talk about that. Helpless and hopeless. So, from the standpoint of your mind and your sense of identity, from the standpoint of the person, from the standpoint of the personality, everything we think is real, actually, in our consensus reality, in our societal conditioning, our education, all that. I'm a person in the world trying to survive. Feeling helpless and hopeless is no fun because it feels like you have no power to control what you think you normally ought to be able to control, which is life. So feeling helpless means you can't control life. You can't control your environment, you can't control others, you can't control yourself. Feeling hopeless is there's no hope that that's ever going to change, and there's no hope that something you want, you perceive that you want, is going to happen. That's what hope is like. I want this thing to happen and I have hope that it will. Well, hopeless is no, that's gone. So I'm here to tell you that from the standpoint of reality, from the standpoint of what actually is, which is just this, there is no you. There never has been a you. That's just an appearance. That's just a dream. It's just a mirage. It's like a vapor. It's like smoke. It's like the light dancing on a movie screen. It looks real and it's really appearing. So in that sense, it's real. But in the sense of it actually meaning anything beyond the story, it's not real at all. So when you feel helpless and hopeless, that's a good thing from that standpoint because that's reality. There is no hope for the separate self because it's a dream. It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. There's only hope and control in the story. The dream character can have hope and control, but reality is beyond the dream character because the dream character seemed to never have existed. It's just an appearance. And so when you come back, you just inhabit it as life itself, presence, being. And yes, you are absolutely helpless. You don't control anything. Life is lifing. Life is living itself, self-aware, and there isn't a you to control anything. There's no doer. There's no character in your brain controlling, pulling the strings. It just feels like that. That's the beauty of the dream and the illusion, is the appearance is so beautifully complex and self-radiantly aware that the sense arises of control, of a doer, of someone who could have hope because they set themselves apart from what is and wish for something better. What if there was only and already this, which is empty, radiant appearance happening perfectly, meaning there's nothing to change. And there's no you doing anything. So yes, you're helpless. The dream character is absolutely helpless. Helplessness is the gateway to this. True helplessness means absolute surrender. And hopelessness, yeah, abandon all hope as a thought, because when everything is one isness, one being, one happening, everything is right here only now, what's to stand apart to hope for anything? Everything is absolutely as it is. And that may mean that the next apparent action of this dream character is something that makes life appear better. Yeah, or it may not be. But you know what? It doesn't matter at all. At all. And when you realize that it doesn't matter at all, that's when freedom arises. And actually your spontaneous actions are those of the bodhisattva, of someone who is deeply and infinitely compassionate, because everything is perfect, which means unconditional acceptance and love. An action that arises from that, which is action that's very unlikely to hurt others or yourself. So I'm really glad you're feeling helpless and hopeless on that level. On the relative dream character level, I'm sorry you're going through that. It's hard. Life is very hard. It appears very hard. We're attached to our suffering. We are. Because suffering means we are a separate self. We are in control of something. And it's causing us to suffer. But none of it's true. It's all a dream. Linda David says, I'm living in, who's a supporter. Thank you for your support, Linda. Living in my head too much. I'm holding myself back. I feel like I'm watching my life and I can't get out of my head to live. So when we say we're in our head, what we often are meaning, and tell me if this is right, is you're in thought. You're up in thought, thinking about the future and the past and about your character and your life, instead of just noticing everything that's arising. Just life, just life. And so getting out of your head to live simply means noticing that life is living itself. And that noticing is beyond the mind. It's beyond the conceptual mind. It's energetic is what it is. It's a sense of like, oh, there never was a me to notice anything. The stuff in my head is all thought, and that's just another appearance, just like sight, sound, touch, smell, taste. It's all the same. It's like the sixth sense, just an appearance. And then what's left? Just this. Just this. Breezy's wondering where my Old English is. Well, my 40-ounce malt liquor is just, I got a fridge full of it, just like Snoop Dogg and gin and juice, man. Makes me want to throw up just thinking about it. Malt liquor, good shit. Let's see, where are we at here? I'm just making sure my shit's recording. There we go. All right, let me pull up your comments here. There we go. Mary Beth, maybe adopt a shelter pet. Unconditional love you get from an animal you probably saved from euthanasia is pretty huge. Absolutely. Whatever your authentic character wants to do is perfect. There's actually no right and wrong, because everything is happening exactly as it has to. And it's the recognition and realization of that ends suffering. There was never a separate self fighting against all this. There was just all this happening to no one. And it's scary. It's scary to the mind because there's nothing for it. There's nothing there for the mind. You can ask the whys, that's a mind question. Hows, that's a mind question. When, how do I wake up? All this stuff, mind. But there's nothing for the mind in realization. There's just what is, which is living truth. This. Now, you're experiencing it. It just maybe seems apparently obscured, but it is exactly always this. No substance, just radiant appearance, energy in the body, visual field, sounds, with no listener, just sounds. They're just what they are. When you hear a bird without the label bird, and without a location label, and you just hear what that is, it's exactly as it is, and it's remarkable. It's infinite. It's the entire universe at that moment. And then the next thing happens. And the next thing happens, apparently. Hey, Danelle, how are you doing? First time catching me live. That's sweet. You're getting a weird one today. We're Sunday Zen, so everything gets a little rabbit holy. Ashley likes her cat. Breakdown in emotion, feeling into how much love they're able to give. Cats are very present. That's why I like my cat. I don't know if there's love or not there, but I know that the cat just is the cat. The cat is exactly itself without any overthinking or ideas of death and life and past and future. It's just exactly what it is in that moment. It's instinctual. And if that instinct is to purr and show affection, then it shows it. If that instinct is to scratch and bite, it's going to do that based on all the causes and conditions that are beyond our understanding. It's just going to be what it is. And that's what's beautiful about animals. Humans are not like that. Humans are up in our head, always telling stories, always escaping into future and past. And it's not an escape, it's suffering is what it is. But Cindy's watching hummingbirds. That's a great place to be, man. Listen to those hummingbirds talk to each other. They make this really high-pitched, like it's probably like 12x speed. Like if we slowed it down, we'd hear like weird backwards Satan speech. It's kind of awesome. Jody Jacobs, a supporter. What are your thoughts on vaping? And what about secondhand smoke from vaping? I've had trouble finding any reports. The truth is we just don't know. Yeah. Like, is it better than cigarette smoking? Well, depends. If it gets you to start using nicotine when you wouldn't have normally, then it's worse. Because everyone looks at cigarettes and they're like, yeah, we know that's bad news. We know that's gross. We know it smells bad. That's all fine. Vaping, kids are like, man, it smells like bubble gum. All my friends are doing it. I'm going to start doing that. And they never would have started smoking. So that's a big issue, is the jumping onto the nicotine addiction train. And then the question is, what is in the vape juice? And what does the heating process do? And so on and so forth. And, you know, honestly, that can be studied. And I'm sure is being studied. And I've done shows on vaping with a guest who actually broke one of the first pieces on the cannabis inserts related lung fibrotic disease, I think it was. So you can search that just like vaping on my website or YouTube. So I think the jury's still out. I wouldn't do it, honestly. I wouldn't let my kids do it, obviously. But if I were a cigarette smoker and I was addicted, I think switching from tobacco to vaping, probably a good plan. Probably save your life on some level. We don't know what other harm it has, but probably better than smoking cigarettes. Hey, John, everyone's in our heads except small children. I think they're onto something. Yep. They're out. They're in the universe. And then when they are in their heads, they're actually creating universes. They're imagining into being these universes. Yeah, that's right. Popcorn lung, guys, Michelle and Lisa. That's what it was. It's an interstitial type lung disease, I think. Should ask my wife. She's an expert in that, chest radiologist. It's been a minute. Beverly says, first time catching you live. I enjoy your candid humor. Ooh, I haven't shown enough candid humor today. I'll have to keep that in mind when I decide to be candid and humorous. I'm always candid, not always funny. Rarely funny, according to my family. Donnell says, too funny. I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 3 birds. I love animals so very much. To me, they are really a judge of character. Yeah, well, they're a judge of energy, really. So cats, deer, like they can pick up the energetic signature of a human that's afraid, that's antagonistic, that's up in their head. And they can pick up energetic signatures of humans that are incredibly present in this, as this. And you see they interact very differently with those different energies. What's up, Canada? Chev, how you doing? I love our 51st state. I love to say that to make Canadians mad up in Canada. I love Canada. Let's see. Mike says, cracked up when you mentioned Angelo's closet the other day. Yeah, my girls were like saying Angelo has only 3 shirts. Angelo's a friend who we do a lot of shows on Awakening. A really brilliant dude. And I said, no, I've been to his house. He has a closet full of t-shirts and they're all organized. He's got like 100 t-shirts. They're all black and they're all organized. Like, I don't know in what way, but he can pick one out like instantly. What's up, Virginia? Betsy Tuck. Let's see. Lisa says, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, did it make a sound? So that whole question is the mind trying to keep itself busy. Because forest, sound, tree, no one, all those are just thoughts. They're all thoughts. They're nothing. They're vapor. It's emptiness. Actually, this is the best comment yet, Lisa, because philosophers talk about this. Oh, is something happening when we're not seeing it? Is it all consciousness? Does it all matter? None of that matters. None of that matters. Because it's all bullshit. It's all a dream. It's all a vapor. It's all appearance. All that is real, you can't even say that it's real or not real. It's beyond real and unreal. It's this radiance right now. Eternally. It's always been exactly this. There's no other time, no other place, no forest, no trees, no people, nothing. Just this. Just this. Everything else is a thought. Your mind will say, but what about, nope, thought. That's a thought. That's here too. That's just this. There is nothing that isn't this. No other way to say it. And we can talk about spirituality, we can talk about religion, we can talk about waking up, we can talk about science. It's all just talk. Dream characters telling dream characters dreamy stuff. That's all beautiful. It's all fine. Nothing wrong with it. But it ain't. It ain't anything but story. What is this. You can feel into it anytime. You don't take my word for anything. It's already and always the case for you. You just may not know it. And all you do, it's so simple. Just shut your eyes, feel your body. That's it. Just the body. And then an idea of body, okay, that's a thought. What else is here? Whatever this is, which is impossible to describe. Sensations rising and disappearing in an apparent space, but that space is a thought. Look for the space that it's arising in. See what you find. Somebody texting me. Oh, okay. It's my buddy. I have a buddy or two. Thanks, I hate planning. Beth Rochford, supporter. You're off the hook. Planning just happens. It just happens. You don't even have to plan. It just happens. Just look in your experience. Everything we think we need to do is just not totally optional. Because it's just the organism just does its thing. We think that by thinking we control things. Nope. That's a thought. That's an appearance. There's only exactly what's happening, and it's all happening without you. Even you are happening without you. Even the sense of you, the sense of the person behind the eyes pulling the strings, that's just an appearance that's happening beyond anyone's control. No one's controlling anything. Remember the earlier comment, the comment we started with? I'm helpless and hopeless. Yep, both are true. There's no hope for you as a separate self. You don't exist. And you're absolutely helpless, which means everything is perfect. Because it couldn't be otherwise. It could not be otherwise. You may prefer, the personality may prefer not to be in chronic pain or not to have to go to work or whatever. But that's just an arising preference. That's a thought. Everything is exactly as it is. Can't be otherwise. Jean-Marie Philippe says, or Phillips says, describe your thoughts about anxiety and depression during just this. So, I think you put it very clearly. Describe your thoughts. So you can describe thoughts all day. Anxiety and depression are thoughts. What those thoughts seem to point at or are triggered by is some energetic sensation or appearance or another thought. So there might be a feeling in the chest, a kind of energetic sensation, a fluttering type energetic sensation in the chest. And the mind quickly labels that undesirable and then tells a story, anxiety, and then starts generating more thoughts. Tomorrow I have to go to work and see this boss I don't like. And now I'm stressed. All of that is a story. The only thing that was really happening is the energetic sensation in the chest. And even that was just a label that we gave to something that's indescribable. And then the thoughts just arose, and those are all fine. So anxiety and depression, they're real experiences. They cause tremendous suffering when we believe that we are the ones having the experience and it is happening to us as a separate self and that it could be otherwise. When that starts to relax, see what anxiety and depression show up as. It won't be recognizable without thought. That's why for depression, they use cognitive behavioral therapy sometimes, because it's a modification and recognizing dysfunctional and maladaptive thoughts, catastrophizing, black and white thinking, cognitive distortions, things like that, and noticing them and realizing, oh, they're not true. But that's even just using thought to fight thought, which is fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with any treatments for depression and anxiety in that sense. It's just the root cause. You haven't uprooted the root cause. What is the root cause? The delusion that you're a separate suffering self that could be otherwise than you are. That's it. That's really it. When that delusion relaxes, and by the way, it doesn't happen to a person because there's no person there. It just suddenly is, oh. And then people call that awakening or part of awakening, but it's just labels. See Lily Mariquin, How to Control It. You can't. You can't control anything. And when you really know that instinctively at the cellular level, you know that there's no control, there's no you, there's no doer. How are any of these things a problem? They're just as they are. And that's going to sound, you guys aren't going to like that. You're not going to like that. Your mind is not, you're going to say, Z, you've lost your mind. Like you're reducing this complex suffering to just that. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm telling you the truth. It's just exactly right. It doesn't mean that, you don't have very bad, classically bad experiences from there. It doesn't mean that you don't experience pain, but the suffering of the person that thinks it could be otherwise or could control anything is gone. And so then it's just life living itself. And life can be hard. There are challenges, sure, but the body mind just arises and things happen. Some of those challenges are met, some are not. So what? Who cares? And by who cares, I mean ask yourself, who cares? Who in your experience cares? Find the who. Find the I that cares. Look there. And I suspect you'll keep looking because you won't find it in the way you think. It's a great question. Who cares? Oh, well, what I thought was me is just a pattern of energy. Comes and goes, so can't really be me. Because when I'm in deep sleep, there's no pattern of energy, so that's not me. So where am I? Who's the one who cares? That's Inquiry 101 right there. Who am I? Ashley says, my reaction feels stronger to me sometimes because I can't run or suppress certain emotions or feelings anymore. Okay, what Ashley just said is so important, because after you start having these energetic shifts, for lack of a better term, the sense that there's a separate self that can control anything drops. So where do you hide when a strong emotion arises? You can't hide in a self that can distract in thought. You can't hide in an identity because the identity is loosening. There's just that emotion, unbridled, and it comes up, boom, full strength. It's the whole universe. No hiding. Helpless and hopeless entirely. And so what does anger feel like when it's unbridled and not filtered through thought? It feels like raw anger, exactly what it is. And assuming you have enough wherewithal to be present with it and allow it, you won't act on it except in generally adaptive ways, and you'll allow it, which means you may cry, you may scream, you may take it out on a punching bag, who knows what it is, but you're going to allow it. You're not going to repress it. And the same goes with love, joy. You'll cry at the drop of a hat. Sadness, grief. You'll feel the grief of the entire human consciousness, all of humanity. You'll feel the suffering of everyone who was tortured ever in human history. That will come through your body. You'll feel it. Speaking for a friend. And then it's gone. And the next thing is there. So you can live your life hiding from what is, or you can experience it full on and live a totally human existence, and there's no one to bear the unbearable. So it's all exactly this: unconditionally loved and perfect, even when it's uncomfortable. Or worse. Lisa Blevin says, then why are we here? Who's asking? Look for who's asking that question. Who is asking the question, why are we here? Who cares why we're here? I'm not asking that rhetorically. Ask yourself, who cares? In my experience, who is it that cares about why I'm here? Well, I care. Okay, so where's this I? Mind, thought. It's not real. The entity asking the question, why are we here, doesn't exist. It is a dream. It's a figment of the universal imagination. So there is no why. There's only this. This is why. Why? Because this. But what about because this? But who it? Because this. That's it. This. What's happening? There's only this. There can be only this. There's no outside of this. There's no inside of this. There's just this. You see how it's very difficult. Like, if you teach this way, you're not teaching. And I'm not teaching. I'm just speaking from that truth as much as I can, to the degree that I'm able, as a flawed human being, with my own thoughts and distractions and identities. Breezy Wiley says, what's the point then? Who's asking? Who's asking what's the point? Look. If you can't find who's asking what's the point, then the question is effing meaningless. It means nothing. There's no meaning. There's just this. And here's the thing. What's the point? When you see that everything is absolutely perfect and there's no you seeing it, what point exactly do you need when you're seeing the radiant perfection of everything in every single instant, and there's no instance, there's just this, infinitely outside of space and time? The questions just become, they just disappear. They're just seen to be dream characters asking dream questions. That's it. There's no other way to say it. I could sugarcoat it like spiritual teachers do. I could say, oh, it's about compassion, and it's about meaning, and it's about connection, and it's about helping others wake up, and it's about helping others and suffering and all that. That's all horseshit. That's all a story. None of that matters. This whole universe of appearance could blink out of existence, and the true nature of this being wouldn't even notice. So what's the point? Who's asking? But you're saying it's all meaningless. Who's saying what? To whom? Where? Who needs the meaning? Look for the person who needs the meaning in your experience and see if you can find that person. If you can't, if you just find this, where does meaning fit into this? Perfect expression of what's appearing. Lisa says, do you think your thoughts are relative to your location on Earth? There's no space and time. So location on Earth is a thought. So sure, they're related to other thoughts, which are also just appearances. So thought relates to thought relates to thought. In fact, the only thing thought points to is other thought. It doesn't point to reality in any way. It can't. Because it's an appearance within reality. It cannot point to what it already and always is. It'd be like a mirror pointing to itself when all it's seeing is reflection. Kay Rose says, you are so lost. Yes, the you is lost. There's just the radiant perfection of this unconditionally unfolding, eternally and perfectly now and always. It's a good place to be lost. Renee says, this is an insecure man, smart, good looking, but needs attention. There's so much paradox in that statement. Like, if I were smart and good looking, I'm not sure I'd be looking for attention. Because I'd already be smart and good looking. But that's just me. No, see, if my self-image is the opposite of that, then I would need attention. So, you've given me the attention that I might need where I'm insecure. Which the personality might be, for sure. But at the deepest level, I just don't care. It doesn't matter. It's all perfect. Like, I love this. I love being here with you guys. It's beautiful. Renee Sorrentino. That's a good name, though. I like that last name. Beth is laughing. Oh, Beth are you a supporter, Beth? I think I see the badge there. Yes, you are. Let's see. June says, hey, I go with smart and good looking part. You guys are supporters. I pay you guys. You guys pay me to say nice things about me. That's amazing. So Rebecca Davis is here. He loved for what he shared, so I'm grateful for it. That's nice. That's nice. You guys don't need to defend me, but I enjoy it. It's entertaining, and I love you guys. There's nothing to defend. There really isn't. Like your mind will not believe a word I'm saying. It can't. It cannot believe it. It's not designed for that. Mine doesn't believe it. There's no belief here. It's just, this is what is. Just telling you from that. This is how it is. You don't have to believe any of it. You can hang up the thing, be like, oh, I'm out. No worries. At some point there may be an intuition. Why do I suffer so much? Why have I gotten everything I think I want and I'm still miserable? Or why do I always want something I can't have? And then, what's going on? Same thing, Paula says chronic pain. Yeah, same thing. What is chronic pain? It's a story about a sensation, an energetic pattern. And like, I have chronic neck pain. I can tell stories about it and go, oh, woe is me, man. Oh, what am I gonna do? Should I take something for it? Should I see a chiropractor? Should I see a doctor? Should I get surgery? Should I change my ergonomics? Maybe. So what? But what is it really? It's a sensation, a pattern of energy that I feel when I pay attention. I can dive right into that sensation, and it's just exactly what it is, perfectly unfolding. So the body-mind may go and do something to make it better, like certain types of stretches, ergonomics, changing how I look at my phone, that kind of thing. And it's the same with all chronic pain. You may go see a doctor who may give you things, that's all fine. You may go do yoga or meditation or acupuncture, or you may do more a Western approach. It's all fine. It's all perfect, and you're not doing any of it. So relinquish the control and relinquish the one who suffers, and then there's just what is. And then chronic pain takes on a very different flavor. Instead of the stories we tell ourselves about our suffering, we often become attached to our suffering. I know I do. Or I have. Kathy Darling says, what do I do to become a supporter? There's 4 platforms where you can support us, and it's $5 a month or whatever you want to pay on these platforms above that, but 5 is the sort of cost of admission, $4.99. And we do that just to kind of weed out the riffraff, because we want that group, that tribe of people, to be passionate about whatever this is. Whether it's transforming healthcare, whether it's just hanging out and having fun, or whether it's awakening, spiritual stuff, whatever. We don't want a bunch of trolls in there, and that keeps the trolls out. So You can do it on Facebook. There's usually a button to become a supporter. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Instagram, and you can do it on Locals, which is zdogmd.locals.com, which is my favorite platform, actually. It's our biggest supporter tribe. And you can find all these things, I think, on my website at zdogmd.com/supporters if you want to join. It sounds like you're interested, which it would be great to have you if you're interested, because usually self-selecting for really cool people. And we do Zoom meetings kind of like this, but where y'all are there and we interact. So people are telling stories from their own experience, which is beautiful. We're kind of teaching each other. There's nobody to teach, but it's just like an expression of that energetic knowing, and everybody has a different angle. That's right, Chris, OE for life. Made my day the other day. Thanks, Doc V. Doc Vader, man. He's the man. I got to get him back fired up on this show. Oh, Catherine says it's right beside the comments. Nice. I don't see it on mine. That's why I get confused. Oh, what up, Daniel? How are you doing, man? Daniel was in our One Seek music video. He played Raj from Radiology. Nice, awesome Texas resident at the time. Probably graduated now, I would think. It's been a few years. Let's see. Locals is my favorite, even though I'm everywhere. Ashley Stewart, yeah, Locals is the best. Because you can post your own stuff there. There's a community there, and the live streams to Locals are so immediate. There's no lag, and you can post images and do cool, really good, engaging stuff. It's a great group. Jennifer Walsh says, Dr. Hazel Claire Weeks spoke about accepting what you feel in the body and see it through. Great for anxiety relief. Check out on YouTube. I don't need to, because that's perfect. You've just said everything you need to do. Feeling into the body and accepting what arises it's really all you need to do in many ways. Just feeling it, allowing it. And this is true about anything. Feel everything without even the resistance that arises to feeling it. Feel that, notice it. There's a little discernment that happens, like you go, oh, okay, resistance. Okay, yeah, feeling that now. There's resistance there. Okay, ooh, yeah. Pain in the leg. What is that? Okay, let's see. Past the labels, thoughts, leg, pain, what's there? Energy, indescribable sensation. Sit with it. Oh, resistance is arising, notice that. That's all you need to do. Daniel, you finished Fellowship in Addiction Medicine. We need you, brother. Good work. I love it. Steve is in Central Florida. Nice. Steve Bamber, welcome. I love it. Lisa went to Baylor for self-hypnosis for pain control. That's awesome. That's an awesome modality. Excellent. Yeah, keep these comments coming. You guys are on fire today. June Hammond Black is a supporter on all platforms, but Locals is the best. Thank you, June. So there are some hardcore fans that support us on every single platform just to be everywhere and because they like what we do. Ooh, forgot to tell you guys. I probably should show you this. This is kind of important. Here, I'll write down the information here. So I have a 27-inch, hold on, I'm gonna show you. I have a 27-inch iMac, this guy here. And it is the computer that we use to run our show for years and years in Las Vegas and beyond, to edit all our music videos. It's got a lot of history with us. But it's a 2017 27-inch iMac, and it's not fast enough to run my show in 4K. So I use my M1 laptop. And so if I was going to give it back to Apple and they give me a couple $100 for it, and then use the money to upgrade a computer in the studio, so when we stream from our studio, it's crisper, faster, more responsive, and I can do a bunch of stuff. But then I thought, well, I could give it to Apple, or I could kind of semi-auction it off to you guys. We could support the show, buy the new gear, and you could get a little piece of history and a really cool computer. So I'm going to type it in here. It's a 3.2 gigahertz i7 2017 iMac with a 3 terabyte hard drive and 32 gigs of RAM. So it is beefy. especially for 2017. And the screen is a 5K screen, and so what you can here, I think I can edit this. Hold on, I got to add in how to reach me. So what you do is email hello@zdogmd.com and give me your bid for, and I will ship it to you. I have the actual box that Apple sent me, so it's got foam and everything. And so I'll ship it to you if you're in the continental US or Canada. Maybe it may be more expensive. So when you tell me how much you're willing to pay for it, and I will throw in a bunch of ZDogg pens and some little surprise gear. When you tell me what your, it's a silent auction, June. So you just tell me what you're willing to pay, and I'll read why you want it and all that, and I'll make a decision. And whoever wins it, I'll send it to you. You can pay me through PayPal, and I'll get it in the mail to you. And it'll have a keyboard and a magic mouse, one of those little wireless mouse. And it might be fun. You may need it, and you can get it for a total steal compared to a new computer. And we raise money for the show and get it in the hands of a fan, instead of just giving it back to Apple, where they'll refurbish it and sell it at some rip-off price. So let me know. hello@zdogmd.com. Daniel's gonna bid. Nice. Yeah, so let me know. I'm only gonna give it a couple of days, because then I've got to return it to Apple to get it out of here, because I need to make space. So let me know. This is the Z Studio computer. So it's got all the memories. Logan and Tom, we used to work on this computer together, editing video. It's awesome. So that was my PSA for the day. I did tell our supporters the other day, but I didn't say this publicly. So now I'll open it to the public. Let me see, where are we at? Any other comments? Keep it low, Daniel. Yeah, June and Daniel are in a bidding war. You know what I'll do is when you guys email me, if there's some close numbers, I'll email you back and go, well, the bid is up to this now, whatever you want to do. So we'll see. And again, what's nice is if we can raise enough money, I can get a Mac Studio, which is a beefy unit, extreme in 4K without any glitches, and edit video and do all kinds of cool things in the studio. So it'll be really helpful for the show. So that's pretty much it. So, I mean, you can see, okay, look, I'm talking about all this stuff. There's no you, there's no meaning, there's no purpose. There's just this. It's radiant, it's alive, it's living truth. That's all true. And yet, here we can function. We can have a conversation. I can tell you about my computer. You know, none of this is planned or all that. It just spontaneously comes out, and it happens. And planning can appear as thought, and that's there. That's all fine. It's all perfect. Gene Black's coming up with a cool backstory. Oh, for the computer? No, you don't need to come up with one. I can give you all the cool backstories, man. This thing has seen everything. All the great music videos that we've done were largely edited on this computer. Vicky Fielding says, but do you really need more? No, I don't need anything. This is a want. I don't need anything. Everything's perfect. This is purely like, oh, it'd be fun to have a computer that, because right now I drag in, this is what I'm streaming. Oh, I can't pick it up because it'll unplug from the monitor. I'm streaming to you right now using my phone through an Apple Mac M1 laptop. And that laptop I drag back and forth to the studio every time I go there. And it's just kind of annoying because I just want to have a computer here and a computer there. That way I can seamlessly edit in either location, because now we have like AT&T fiber internet. So it's super fast with no limits. These files, these video interviews we do, they're like 30 gigabyte files. They're really big. So you need a beefy computer and fast internet to do all these things. So we have that. So this would just make life much easier, and we'd be able to do things faster and more conveniently with less glitches, which would be nice. Yeah, all the cool intros too, Ashley, all on the computer. Yeah, Vicky, the Macs have all the energy. Exactly. All right, I better go. I hear my wife and kids starting to make the chicken we're going to make for dinner, and I want to help them. Let me know if you have any parting thoughts. How's this streaming quality? Is it okay? I have not really done it this way. So give me some feedback. Does it sound okay? Let me see. Hold on. Oh, that mic does work. I can see it on the audio. I should have checked that before. Yeah, that's great. I think it actually works, which is good. Yeah. Let me know if I'm crazy. Oh, and June says, Gobble? Thanks for reminding me. I like the low-key quality, says Carol. It's perfect, says Junior Tolentino. So Gobble, I'll put that link in here. So gobble.com/ZDoggMD. Tomorrow is the last day you can get their 4th of July meal. It's a meal prep service that we work with. And they have an intro offer, like 6 meals for $36, free shipping and a free cookie. Go to that ZDogg link and you can get that. And I love it. Like I reached out to them and was like, dude, I want to pitch your stuff because it's like changed our lives. Like we have it 2 or 3 times a week and it's easy to cook. And if you're a good cook, you can make substitutions. It's delicious, like transcendent. And if you're not, it's just good. It's not too expensive and it's great for healthcare people who don't have a lot of time to either go out or getting fat going out and not knowing what's in the food. Here, at least you know what's there and it's delicious. So people have tried it. They really like it. I love it. So Gobble, check that out. And they have a 4th of July deal. I think you have to order by tomorrow. So you can go to their website and see their 4th of July deal too. All right, gang. I love you guys. Thank you, Rebecca. I'll have a good dinner with the family. You guys too. Have a great time. Annabelle's catching me live from Puerto Rico. I did a talk there a couple years back. It was great. It's such a beautiful island. Even with all the challenges that happen with weather and everything. Thanks, Brandon. Exceptional video and audio. That's good. Sounds great. That's good, 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 good. All right. And I think we are out. Now, let me see. I think I can stop it here. Pow. Bye-bye.